Chai, my people, wonder they say shall never end. Asari Dokubo don't carry come again. Oh. This time around, he promised Nigerian military that he is going to expose them, that this is just the beginning, since they have promised to buy him, and also calling on Nigeria government to release Nnamdi Kanu, since Nigerian military cannot protect the life of Nigerians, especially in the southeast. My people, this one shocked me. Just take a listen.
This thing, carry their boat come, army see them, then catch them, then flog them, see they are gone. It don't happen well. We don't settle matter well for river. You don't go there and say, what did happen now? Why do they do this thing? Army, flog them. Civil defense or guy will be carry staff full for him body. One korofo will no carry anything, go flog him. Because because with the fear saying go do cool. These are the things happening. That's the reality that people don't want to hear. The people will hear it. I think they said they were going to kill me. Now I don't ready for them. Make them come kill me. If them fit. The world will know every details of the atrocities against Nigerian people. This is just the beginning, you know. This is just the beginning. Until they are called to order. Until they are called to order. Until they start to behave like others behave in civilized society. Not like the ones where they kill innocent children and women and other people. They destroy people's house. If we cannot protect the people, allow Nnamdi Kanu to come out. Not because of one man, hundreds of people will be killed every day. Allow him to come out. It's as simple as that. The life of these people are more precious, more important than keeping Nnamdi Kanu in the prison. And you do not have the power, the strength, the wherewithal to provide security for the people. You are not talking of property. You are not talking of, you don't have. It's as simple as that.
My people, this matter go really long because we have seen that Asari Dokubo know too much about the insecurity that is going on in the southeast, and he is ready to talk. Since Nigerian military has provoked him, like he is ready to talk and tell us everything that is going on when it comes to insecurity. So my people, since 2 days now, there is a sit-at-home in the southeast, which IPOB have come out to say that they did not give any order for these 2 days sit at home. So right now, people are asking who is really benefiting from this insecurity in the southeast. Let me allow you guys to watch another video and hear everything they said concerning Nnamdi Kanu, as well as what is going on in the southeast.
Having said that, from the aspect of management of resources, both human resources and fiscal resources, which is money, I will put it a bit on the part of the state governors. Because, for instance, you see, if you do one thing, it can have a multiplier effect. Look at Aba now. I've been to Aba many years ago. What is stopping Aba from being an industrial hub? You don't expect, ideally, like in a country like Nigeria, with the real or perceived marginalization against the Igbos, you wouldn't expect that when the Yorubas and the Hausas, or if you like, the Hausa Fulanis as we have it now, when they are rotating power amongst themselves, and there's this ethnic suspicion that one day you guys might say you want to go, you ordinarily won't expect that they would want to do much in terms of building the Southeast industrially. Then it now boils down on the state governors to make sure that these things are being done in such a way that the Southeast will naturally evolve industrially, in such a way that the Southeast will not only feed the Nigerian market, but also the Togo market, the Ghana market, the Côte d'Ivoire market. The Southeast have the ability. So I will put that on the state government.
Dr. Deji, let's walk a bit back to history, you know. this agitation that is very intense now, you know, when Obasanjo was in government, when Yar'Adua was in government, even when Jonathan was in government, it wasn't as intense as it is now. Like Prince said, it was Masop. You know, Mezrika was driving a Masop agenda, you know. My people need to movement for the actualization of the sovereign state of Biafra. As at 2013, Nnamdi Kanu was not even campaigning for the Southeast to exit Nigeria. He was asking questions, how do we make this country a better place for everybody? Can't we sit down at a round table and renegotiate this union? So it was when a certain government came into power,
the Buhari government,
and excluded the Southeast, clearly. That was when the agitation gravitated towards violence and all of that. And the government, instead of, okay, let me not even answer the question for you. The point of it is this. This present administration is continuing in that direction of the Buhari government. So don't you think that the federal government still holds the ace towards the resolution of this crisis?
Okay, I'll pick it from two sides. First, the part of the federal government, then that of Nnamdi Kanu. First, for the federal government, I've asserted before that for me, the Buhari government committed what I can call an unforgivable sin. What do I mean by that? If Buhari were to be a Kingsley Moghalu, if it were to be an Omoyele Sowore, or any of these, you know, to use the word in hip-hop, new cats, you know, if it were to be any of these new cats, it would have been forgiven that, oh, Sowore is not experienced when it comes to leadership at that kind of level. So that's why his reasoning and his attitude is so sectional. But for a Buhari that has ruled this country as a military head of state, that has worked in an organization whereby you cannot avoid interacting with people from other ethnic groups, like the military issue. Okay. So the thing is, one of the solutions is don't come to the table with greed. I'm a Yoruba man. I'm sorry, I have to say this. I'm a Yoruba man. But I think that other ethnic groups have been largely greedy, including the Yorubas, sincerely. Okay. The reason why I say so is that now, there are three, except my secondary school teachers are wrong, right? They say there are three major ethnic groups. But if you look at it, since that coup that happened in the, is it 1963 or something? 66. Now, that particular coup, you will see that the Yorubas and the Fulanis have been so greedy that they've been rotating in among themselves. Now, Tinubu, if you use maybe 8 years, at the end of the day, if he's leaving, even before he leaves, the Hausa Fulani are already hungry for the power, as if it's their birthright. Immediately, the Hausa Fulanis are leaving. The Yorubas are already roaring like lion, roaring like thunder, right, to grab the power. Then you ask yourself, what happens to the South? If you look at it now, sorry, sir, right. If you look at it now, in Nigeria, if you begin to rank it, the Igbos that are the third largest ethnic group are not well represented. The president, number 1, vice president, number 2, senate president, number 3, speaker of the House of Reps, number 4.
Okay, all right, then. Let me come to the Prince now. Prince, you're shaking your head. Is that disbelief or?
No,
well, let's.
No, I'm sorry. I'm shaking my head because each time we talk about this thing about the Southeast, I get very emotional because I'm a Southeasterner. But I get my emotion goes to the fact that everything anybody is saying about the federal government still does not resonate. It boils down to what do the Igbos themselves want? You have governors in the Southeast.
That's where I'm.
You have governors who have been receiving money from the federal.
Let me ask you this.
Why are they not developing the Southeast?
Let me ask you this.
Sorry, I'm coming.
That's exactly that's exactly where I'm coming to. The governors, the Southeasterners, the governors. You know, why haven't they? Because we see a situation whereby a governor comes out and says, look, I want to align with the center so my people can enjoy the benefits of democracy. We hear of that. But when it comes to development, is it a question of greed? When it comes to the agitation, when it comes to the release of Nnamdi Kanu, is it a situation of aligning with the center or a situation of greed? What exactly is playing out? Let's make sense of it.
Let me start by saying that power is not given, power is taken.
So you need to snatch it and run.
No, definitely.
Okay.
Power is not given. Let us align to that. Secondly, when you get the power, You either use it to the benefit of the people or you use it for your own selfish ends. What has continued to play out in the Southeast, other than the late Sabun Bakwe of blessed memory, who else in the Southeast as a governor has done anything meaningful in the Southeast? Mention one governor.
So basically, the Southeasterners that represent the people as governors do not even want development in the area.
Now, when you say you want to align with the federal government, or you want to align with the power for the benefit of your people, in all these alignments, what development have they brought?
And that brings me back again to,
I'm coming.
you know.
When Mbaka came on, the governor of Enugu State, and he said he wants to end sit at home, that people should come out. If you don't come out, he will demolish your shop. And I said, this man is not serious. He doesn't understand what is at play. Why is it that the Southeast governors are not sitting down? With all the senators, with all the representatives, with all the elders and chiefs and aces, why have they not sat down to ask themselves, what is the core problem?
Does that have anything to do with the disposition or the perceived disposition of the Igbo man as proudful?
Well, let's say, there is this saying about the Igbos, the Igbos have no king. But we have outlived that.
Have we?
Yes, we have. Because now the Igbos negotiate, they discuss. But unfortunately, in all these discussions, it's not about the survival of the ordinary Igbo man. It's about the survival of a few. We saw what Rochas did in Imo State, using the state's funds to build statues.
So are you
what kind of stupidity is that as a governor?
Are you now saying, going by everything we have seen and the fact that those that are politicians within the Southeast don't seem to be representing the people's rights, if and probably when the state of Biafra is given, will we see anything different?
Those agitating for Biafra, are they not Igbos? Those that eventually, if there is Biafra, that will oversee the affairs of Biafra, are they going to import people from the moon?
Those governing the Southeast too are Igbos.
Those governing the Southeast right now are Igbos. Charity begins from home.
home.
So for me, as an Igbo man, let me put it clearly, for me as an Igbo man, it's not about Biafra.
Okay.
It's about the development of the Southeast.
So that brings me to this question.
Let me finish. Few years back, I belong to an organization known as Imo Network Group.
Okay.
We went to Umuahia to visit Nnamdi Kanu just before his home was ransacked and all of that. And we were very clear. I, as an Igbo man, I believe that if the Southeasterners will come together and adopt what I call 24 years development plan,
okay,
which was what we gave to him. We said, like Dr. Moshola said, we asked him, let us take the whole of IPOP and run over Abga.
Okay.
And have Abga as a party for the Southeast.
Okay.
You do know what would have happened? What would have happened is that by now you probably have about 7 states under Abga.
Okay.
And that gives them the strength to negotiate. And that gives the Igbo man the strength to come to the federal and say, this is what we want.
Exactly.
Now hold on. Look at Lagos State. Let's go back to the 2 former governors, Fashola and Ambode. They set the standard for the development of the state. Go back to the Southeast. What do you have in Imo State?
Prince,
what do you have in Enugu State?
Prince,
What do you have?
Prince,
I'm coming. Please hold on. I'm having a thought. Let me finish my thought. Let me finish. Now, when Mba came out and said, stop Monday sit at home, did he provide security for those he's asking to come out?
Oh, yes, he did.
Well, how come that when the unknown gunmen will come out to strike, you will not see the presence of security? What is going on? It simply shows you that it's either the governors themselves are the beneficiary of this sit at home, or the local chiefs.
Okay, Prince, you said something about negotiation, that Igbo should negotiate. You also said that power is not given, that it is taken. I have 2 questions for you. one, who did Jonathan take power or was it given to him? That is one. Two, when you talk about, don't you think that these problems are layered? Clearly, the state governors have their responsibilities, which they have failed according to you. A lot of people will agree with you. But on the other side, on the other hand, don't you think that the federal government is also driving the marginalization? This present administration is constructing a Lagos-Calabar coastal highway, flagged off, under construction. The same government is constructing a Badagry-Sokoto highway, flagged off, under construction. These two super highways cut across more than 18 states of the Federation. Buhari built rail lines across the length and breadth of this country. Southeast got only 40 kilometers. Do you hold the governors responsible for not building a coastal highway that didn't cut through the Southeast? A super highway that didn't cut through the Southeast from Badagry to Sokoto? Is it the problem of the governors or is it a national problem? I don't even want to talk about appointments in the commanding heights, both under Buhari and this present administration, where the Southeast has been clearly excluded.
Mr. Koro, personally, I do not believe in this federal government as an Igbo man. I will not hold federal government responsible for what's happening in the Southeast. I will hold my governors responsible. If the federal government has decided not to build rail lines in the Southeast, why are your governors not coming together to build rail lines connecting the entire Southeast? Don't they have the money?
Rail lines were only decentralized just about a year ago.
It doesn't matter. Since a year ago, what have they done?
How many states have built in the Southwest? How many states have built rail lines?
Even the road network in the Southeast, how many of them are working?
I say the problems are layered.
No, how many of them are working? Maybe you should take a trip to the Southeast.
Okay, how many federal roads in the Southeast are working?
You see, when we had problems with federal roads in Lagos, I remember the governors then fixed the roads and sent the bill to the federal government. The federal government paid back.
Under whose administration?
It doesn't matter. A debt is a debt. Why are the Southeast governors not thinking out of the box? Why are they not thinking out of the box?
That will bring me to this question, Prince Chilaka. You know, you've been talking about the state governments or the people in the Southeast, the governors in the Southeast not doing what they ought to have done for their people. And then I want to ask, who is really benefiting from the insecurity in the Southeast? Because, for example, we also heard during the time of Nnamdi Kanu's broadcast, he made mention of how the Southeasterners, how the big wigs in the Southeast are actually part of the people, or part of the challenge, the problems that they're having. And that is what Ima Powerful talked to be how politicians of the Southeast turn their back, you know, towards his release or his freedom. Now, we have Simon Ekpa coming up to say, sit at home in the Southeast must happen. Whereas Nnamdi Kanu have said, there's no more sit at home. Ima Powerful also happens to be the IPOB spokesperson, says, we are not the ones giving the sit at home order because he cannot kill the people that we are agitating freedom for. They have also pointed out saying that some people are benefiting from the sit at home order and the unrest in the Southeast. So, Mr. or Prince Chilaka, I will ask you, you're smiling already. Who are the benefactors or who are the people benefiting from the sit-at-home or the unrest in the Southeast?
The governors are beneficiaries, every one of them. They cannot deny it.
Even the ones saying that it's that
you know how, you know that every month they collect security votes. Also, there's a particular amount that is given to states that are troubled in terms of security. Where are they applying those funds? The political class in the Southeast are responsible for the unrest in the Southeast. Because when it is time for election, they bring out guns and hand over to their thugs. Do they get to collect it back after the elections? What is happening in the Northeast today, we all know how it started. It's the political class. You cannot in any way exonerate the political class from what is happening. Is it the ordinary poor man on the street trying to survive by the day, is it the one that is financing such madness?
All right. Because
does he have the kind of money to do that?
Well, big questions. But because of time, let's quickly touch on the involvement of another individual who has declared Biafra in exile. I'm talking about Simon Ekpa now. His name was mentioned not too long ago by my colleague here. Simon Ekpa has consistently called for agitation in the southeast, even when Nnamdi Kanu has dissociated himself from some of the agitation in the southeast. Nigerians, have said, look, and then words that one can consider derogatory are constantly being put out on, the different media that he uses. And Nigerians have said, look, bring this person home. Now, I do understand that we may not have extradition treaty with the Finnish government. But what is, according to you now, what do you think his interests are? Some have even said that he may be sponsored by certain individuals in government to ensure that insecurity persists in the southeast, as that will affect elections. Because we see, cases where elections are to be held, elections that will ordinarily put people in power, help them decide on who will govern or their person of interest be in power, and you say people must not come out to vote. Is that in the interest of the people?
Okay, let me quickly touch on a question he asked that
go ahead.
Who is benefiting from this sit at home in the southeast? Number one, the non-state actors. You see, this sit at home, to my mind, started as a solidarity that, why would you arrest Nnamdi Kanu? Is it because he is vocal? Is it because he wants something good for his people? If that be the case, we will sit at home every Monday to express our interest. So to express our dissatisfaction. So it started as a solidarity movement. But then these non-state actors began to realize that, so we can truly, declare sit at home. So that means that we have so much power. And they started profiting from it. And by the way of profiting from it, it came to stay. If you ask me again that who is profiting from it, I can say the federal government. You ask me how. The federal government is largely dominated by the Yorubas and the Hausa Fulanis, right? Now, if the Yorubas and Fulanis want to keep rotating power among themselves, number one, if there's no peace in your area, it helps them. Number two, if you are not as financially stable as you should be, it helps them. So if they don't want you in power and your source of wealth, you are declaring sit at home to kind of like you say, okay, people should sit at home. So those at the federal level, those at the federal level that stands to benefit from it will keep it like that, but they will just manage the situation in such a way that it doesn't lead to a total breakdown of law and order or threaten the corporate existence of Nigeria. I'll give you an example. The case of bandits, for instance, the bandits are there, they are operating, but when they are going overboard and it begins to kind of like be like it wants to threaten the corporate existence of Nigeria, government will react. But after a while, government will pipe down. Why don't you react fully to nip it in the bud fully? So the federal government itself, that is largely dominated by the Yorubas and the Hausa Fulanis, the lack of peace, the lack of coherence, if you look at it, is to their own benefit. If there is peace in the southeast, you would think, you want to come up with a united something, or you want to align with one political party or form an alliance. But if there is no peace, then that may be difficult itself. And now there are like 4 different kind of political voices, or if you, I don't want to say leadership voices. There are 4 kind of factions that you can either align with 1 or 2 or 3 or all. Number 1, that of Nnamdi Kanu. Because Nnamdi Kanu has stayed long in detention is beginning to lose steam to some extent. You have Simon Ekpa, which also have his own followers. You have Peter Obi, who is being seen as the political leader now of the Southeast. So you now tend to imagine that, okay, this Southeast, where do we really go? You see people that they are supporting Nnamdi Kanu, that okay, free Nnamdi Kanu, we want Biafra. You also see those people during election, they will say, oh, we want to go and vote for Peter Obi. You will see the same people who will say, why should you extradite Simon Ekpa? So there is confusion all over the place, except for the Igbo ruling elite that are profiting from the corporate existence of Nigeria. That the corporate of an Igbo man that has built businesses, for instance, or Jews or Kalu, for instance, will not pray that Nigeria should disintegrate. Because why? He has built businesses across the length and breadth of Nigeria. So the Biafra agitation is mainly for the Talakawas, the Mekunus, the have-nots, or the middle class of the Southeast. But the people that are feeling the pain, or the people that can make that happen, they won't want it to happen because it will affect them, it will affect their interest. And that's why you see that Nnamdi Kanu is not being released. Because they will think that, oh, the people that can fight for him, people that can speak on his behalf, just as the Yoruba kings, the Yoruba political elite spoke in favor of Sunday Igboho. Sometimes, when you walk through life, when you pass through life, if you have not passed through life to such an extent that you need some people to speak for you apart from yourself, then you haven't passed through life. But when you get to that age stage, if you don't have somebody to speak for you, then you'll be in problem. One of the problems Nnamdi Kanu is facing is not because he has committed any crime that has never been committed in Nigeria before. Secession in Nigeria started way back in the 1960s during the days of Isaac Adakaboro. So Nnamdi Kanu is not new. Or this Odumegu Ojukwu, he did it, you know, Sunday Igboho and a host of others. But the truth is, those that can advocate for his release right now are people that are benefiting from. You would think that they are divided. When these people, when they meet with the president, they are beginning saying, oh.
But the likes of the late Iwanyan who advocated, people like that spoke out. These are people of influence as well.
Yes, the late Iwanyan is respected. But those that can speak now, right now, are the people that have the political power now.
The governors in the Southeast have gone to see the president in this disregard. You know, do you think it's just a show off?
I think there's no serious dimension to it, in the sense that, for instance, when the president was campaigning and he went to the Southeast, what was the point of dialogue of the Southeast people? Okay, Buhari marginalized. Buhari, okay, you want to say unjustly detained Nnamdi Kanu. It's okay. But when the Emilokon was campaigning, what was the Igbo's point of negotiation as an ethnic group? The Igbo leaders, the Opus Odima, a host of them, what was their point of negotiation with, let's say, Peter Obi is their own, with Atiku Abubakar and the continued detention of Nnamdi Kanu? Of course, you cannot exclude the leadership structure in the country. For instance, if the Igbos are being given a fair opportunity to be president, one, it will douse this tension. Two, no matter how long it takes, an Igbo man will come there and also release his own people.
But Dr. Deji, even some people from Yoruba land.
I need to say this. Just as Buhari went all after Sunday Igboho, Bola Ahmed Tinubu came there, he piped down. So if Buhari went after Nnamdi Kanu, Bola Ahmed Tinubu has failed to release him. If there is no greed in the political structure of Nigeria, if, let's say, the president now is Peter Obi, maybe he would have also released Nnamdi Kanu. So that's why I said that you can't rule away the import of political power. And you have leaders now that they are mainly advocating for themselves in the Southeast. You understand? So if they make it a point of pressure that this is what we want, Bola Ahmed Tinubu will give it to them. Releasing Nnamdi Kanu is not really his problem.
So my people, that is it. I hope you guys had everything they said in this particular video, which I would love you guys to leave your thoughts in the comment section. As always, through comments we learn as well. Please, if today is your first time here, don't forget to subscribe for more updates. Like this video, share it to your friends and family so that they will get opportunity to watch as well. Thank you everyone for watching. I truly appreciate you all, and I will see you guys in my next update. Goodbye for now.
Welcome to channel.